Get back. Week 2. Let me stretch. That's how you stretch. That is in play. Did you boo boo?
No.
Did you boo boo on yourself?
No.
Yes, you did. Alright. You hear me? Boo boo on yourself. That's when you get that whooping.
No.
I'm not gonna whoop you. I'm not gonna whoop you. But you need to stop boo booing on yourself, okay? Because you're a big boy. You're a big boy, right?
Yeah.
Sir, right?
That's it.
Okay.
And Coach, we come at you from the shores of Lake Erie. EA Sports has the coverage of the NFL from First Energy Stadium here in Cleveland, Ohio. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Cleveland Browns. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
It may be cliche, but it is something that holds up over time, doesn't it? If you're the visitors, you don't want to let the crowd in the game early.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they did there. But you said also this defense, they're going to give them a lot of looks like we just saw there, aren't they?
They certainly are. They're a proud unit, and they're going to ride the momentum of this crowd with them, and that's why they get after them early.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, you know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Very good return that time.
Yeah, I gotta get my mind up, sir. They changed my shit up. AJ Green retired. Oh yeah, we didn't sign him. We probably didn't sign him.
And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They go play action here on 1st down. He dumps it underneath for Taylor. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a gain of 4. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
How about that run? Picks up a first down. Note the enthusiasm in my voice. Remember, last week, AFC Offensive Player of the Week. I think he's trying to get another one in fold.
And you talked, watching film, a lot about his form and just hitting the hole, running north and south, as we like to say. And I think he's been doing that a lot recently.
Squaring those shoulders and getting downhill.
On 1st and 10, Mayfield. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. 14 yards, and it's a Cleveland first down.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
They're going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. 11 more on that one, and another first down.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy, because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Sean Williams that time in on the stop. Now we give to Taylor. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Browns have taken the early lead. And there the counter play proves successful for the touchdown. What typically makes a counter play in general successful, Charles?
But what you're trying to do, Brandon, is to get the team moving in one direction, meaning the defense, get them going in one direction, and then wall them off with your blocking and bring it back in the other direction. That way, you don't actually have to punish them with your blocking. You just position them. And if you have any kind of a good back, he'll take full advantage of it and gain good yardage.
So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now Dalton going for the deep ball. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. That one goes for 36 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there, we keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter.
And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are an extra point away from tying up this football game. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started. All even as the kick's away. It's a very short kick, taken right at the 20. And they're going to wind up with pretty good starting field position as they get it up past the 35. Here comes the Browns offense back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Flush to his right. He's going to let this go deep. Back open. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him a gain of 37.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
Escaping the pressure right. That is caught inside the 5. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Eluding the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
Well, the spotlight hit him once already tonight as he got into the end zone. He was trying to make it a double spotlight, wasn't he?
But credit the defense, bottling him up, not letting him get in for the second score there. They come out here in the eye. On 3rd down. That's Taylor. And he's in. Touchdown, Browns. A great effort there with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline. Because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. They toss to Mixon. Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your line back.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. But they've got a 3rd and inches coming up, trying to keep the chains moving. A handoff to Mixon, and an alley to run. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead.
Oh, my God.
And the Browns pressure gets to him that time, and he's going to go down.
Well, that's a pretty darn good start to his season, huh? A sack in the opener, adds a second one here. That tells you about his offseason. He came in determined to have a big year, and it's paying off.
They'll run here with Mixon. And he takes it down to the 40 with a pickup of 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on run downs. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Mayfield looks to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Carlos Dunlap in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. 3rd and long for Mayfield. And Callaway taking it in left side. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Well, a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. On 3rd down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw it deep to the other side of the field. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Browns add on to their lead. It's good, and it's 21-10. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And now here's Ross. Terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15.
And that's the type of return that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on the defense now. They've got to go out on the field almost like it's a sudden change, almost like it's a turnover. They've got to go out there and try and stop him. But, boy.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Bengals able to get this back within a touchdown. They're going to keep it on the ground. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line.
Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And the Browns getting set to go. And the ledger for them so far looks pretty good, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. Not sure it can be much better than that. They've got to feel very good about the groove that they're in at this stage of the game.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Mayfield now on 2nd down. Escaping the pressure right. Over the middle, that's caught by Taylor. And they work this well upfield across the 45. So 2 minutes to go in a wild first half. More from Cleveland after this. Mayfield on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
He's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. A 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Flushed out right. And his throw is incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the 1st down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
They'll throw again. Here's Mayfield. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. He got 29 yards that time. So a big pickup that time, and Charles, defending AFC Player of the Week, maybe bucking towards another award this week.
Yeah, they say they don't really care about the individual awards. You and I both know it means a lot to them. It means respect around the league. And if he's able to show those kind of hands all game long, he can win a second one.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Going to the air again with Mayfield. Flush to his right. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A great effort there. On his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns add 6 to their lead. Point after here coming up. Extra point right down the middle, and it gives his guys a 12-point advantage. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Now Ross to return. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. In for the score. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. It's been a back-and-forth game, a lot of points on the board, and that return right there kind of indicative of how this thing's gone.
Well, you've seen both teams go at it, and as you just pointed out, both of them have found the end zone. But just like in boxing, you know the blow that hurts the most? The one you didn't see coming, and that often is the case when it comes in special teams.
So let's try this again. After the kick return, TD, here's yet another kickoff. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Heading out is the Cleveland offense now as they get set to take over here. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Cleveland. A big play there. On his way to a historic performance, 4 first-half touchdowns. And the Browns were able to strike quickly for 6. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Short kick. One of the up middle take it now. And they're going to have really good starting field position here as that's taken up close to the 40. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage. He is proving his worth defensively, getting the sack here. That comes after being named the AFC Defensive Player of the Week for his performance last week. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And this will have been returned to right around the 38-yard line. He's continuing to be a big presence defensively. Remember last week, AFC Defensive Player of the Week, and a big pick right there.
And when you pile up big numbers, it gets everyone's attention. But sometimes the number just needs to be, how many game-changing plays did you make? Did you take the ball away from the other team? He just did that, trying to win the award again this week.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. 13 seconds, the time remaining in the half as they come up on 1st down. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So a designed run last play. Now Dalton to pass. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. On the toss, Mixon. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. So we've reached halftime in a wild first half. We'll take a minute to... And just like that, on we head to half number 2. The Browns are going to get the second half kickoff, and they've got this lead as well as we are back and underway. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. Here's the Browns offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? If they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Watch it now, Barney.
Mayfield to throw it this time. Sliding out of the pocket. Finding room inside the 40. To the right side, complete to Taylor. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. A good pick up there, 20 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Throwing again, Mayfield on 2nd and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, nothing takes a start to have a good drive, quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
No, now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Mayfield from the gun on 3rd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
And it has been a good game for them. They haven't been pressured very much today, but on back-to-back sacks, maybe the defense is starting to figure something out.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. Now here's Ross. What a spin.
Hold it.
12 yards on the return that time. And the Bengals will take over here 1st and 10. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now. 1st and 10 at the 20. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. A big play there for Cincinnati. 43 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the 3rd, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Back to Mixon on 1st down.
Oh, right.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And I think that's going to go down as no gain, but that doesn't seem fair for the effort that was presented on that play. That should go down as a loss. I know, I'm a defensive guy, but you got to like the play that was made.
He made a lot of those plays last week. He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week, picking up where he left off. And a nice gain at 21 yards. Here's a give to Mixon. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Escaping the pressure right, and a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. Now, Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. The toss play to Mixon. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football. Caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
So stopped from the 2, now what?
You know me pretty well. What do you think I want here?
Play action?
Definitely. Let him get outside and create. And if he has to run it, he has a little bit more space.
Call it a loss of 6 on the play. And that is going to set up 3rd and goal. Off the play fake to Mixon. This is Dalton. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field. But defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
Still just the 3rd quarter, but they've got to make something happen. I think they know that. They're going for it on 4th. To throw here, Dalton. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. It's a foot race. He's at the 40, the 20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Browns defense has a touchdown. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
Mayfield buying time to his left. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And following the pick 6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick 6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
But they told us, they got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. Here's Dalton. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Joe Schobert in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. That's complete over the middle to Callaway. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 11 yards for number 11.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you make curl.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mayfield. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. The Browns on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. They're looking at a 3rd and goal here. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. He's going to let it go deep for the end zone. And held incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. And we'll begin it with a field goal try here. This from 44 yards out, left hash. And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And now here's Ross. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. The Bengals getting set to go. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach.
And now look at him go. 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A great play there. 74 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So now Dalton will lead the Bengals to the line as they'll come up and go for 2. Now a toss going left. And he will get into the end zone for the 2 points. And it's not over yet as they're back within 2 scores. Bullock out now to kick this one away.
What's that defense?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Browns offense heading back out to take possession. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Now this time he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. A big play that time for Cleveland. 44 yards. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people have pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. Jordan Evans able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Mayfield down. Flush to his right. And big loss here as he's taken down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Mayfield to throw it, escaping the pressure right. Now he's going to let it go deep right sideline. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at their own 12-yard line. Shepherd in there to drop him for his second sack now here tonight. Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in one game.
Yeah, and that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game because no one can stand up to this week after week.
That good for 22 and a first down.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
Space to maneuver at the 40, and he'll go out near midfield at the 49. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen.
And for the third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And he'll wind up losing 5 yards or so on the return, but no matter, they've got the football back. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Second down, Mayfield in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Jordan Evans in there to get him for his second sack of the night. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. Working out of the gun, Mayfield eluding the pressure right. Completes this to Callaway over on the right side. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. And they pick up 25 as they convert on third. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on third down. Went his way, it worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open.
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off at the 33. And finally put it into the return, but not until he takes it back all the way inside the 10-yard line. That's now his second interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. So they get pushed back to the 11, and here's second and goal. Andy Dalton dancing to his left. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. A great effort there. An 11-yard touchdown. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So now Dalton. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked up by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. And the Browns are able to cover this one up. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one. Their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Past the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Browns touchdown. A big play there.
I got it.
45 yards. And the Browns
got 3
into their lead.
yards.
Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
And he And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line.
For a quick second there, I thought we were about to have a repeat performance of a kickoff return for a touchdown. This guy's on fire today.
A toss left, Mixon. And some good tackling there as he stopped up at about the 41. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
23 yards on the play. Now they got to get to the line quickly. 1st and 10 for Dalton. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. A pass for negative yardage, obviously no good. Maybe he shouldn't have thrown it, or maybe he shouldn't have caught it.
I think we were seeing it at the same time, weren't we? Maybe you let that one go, right? Because you can see the lost yardage about to develop. But that goes against every instinct of a receiver. They're taught to catch everything. So it's really hard to be mad at him and yell at him for trying to make that play.
So 2 plays with only negative yardage to show, and now it's 3rd and 16.
Hey, get ready for something coming left.
Throwing, Dalton. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Big 4th down here. It's Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2.
Go, on the ball! On the ball! Good. We're good. Good.
They'll give it to Mixon. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer.
And yeah, that touchdown counts for their team, but I think it counts more for the fantasy guys, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's just something maybe positive to look at on film, but this one's over, let's be honest.
Yeah, I agree with you totally on that one.
And this will be recovered by the Browns hands team, and that should just about write a finish to this one. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of an anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. Now we'll get whistles, and they've signaled for a timeout.
Like I said, you gotta
I'm
let
sure I
them
see
to
the
them,
logic
man.
in this,
You know
but we'll get
how
a
to
stoppage
defend
anyway
it.
with
That's not
5
a foul.
seconds remaining. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Especially one like that.
And this is going to come up well short as they stop him on 4th down. A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Cleveland, it's a win here in their home opener as they move to 2-0. And they'll get to stay put for a few days as they'll host the Baltimore Ravens next week. Meanwhile, for the Bengals, they'll fall to 1-1.
I can get 2 rushing touchdowns.